Brian, I wanted to say Merry Christmas. Oops, I forgot. Is that still racist? I can't keep track.
Who says
But
that saying?
anyway,
Who says that saying somebody to somebody Merry Christmas is racist? Who said that?
the whole Democrat, you have to say Happy Holidays, remember?
Okay, well,
It's
who
the
said
whole
that
thing.
though? Okay,
It
but
got canceled.
okay, but who said that? Let's be
All the
serious.
talking heads.
Okay,
But anyway,
no. Hold on. You're the one who said it. Give me one prominent Democrat, anybody, an assemblyman, a mayor, a president, a congressman, a senator that's a Democrat that says saying Merry Christmas is racist. Go ahead, sir.
You had to do Happy. I don't know specifically.
You don't know specifically. Then here's my advice to you. No. Wait. My advice to you is don't say something stupid unless you can back it up with somebody who actually said it. Okay, dude?
We're ready. We're prepared. Do not give in to fear. We are fearless. This is not the time to be afraid. This is a time to stand up and fight back and to resist any temptation for them to divide us. We're in this together. The rule of law is on our side. We will not give in, not give up. We will not capitulate. We will not bow. We will not bend. We will survive.
I love him, and I couldn't wait to find out. I played a clip of him last week, and I said, y'all, I had my team. I said, find him, get him on the show. We need to talk to him. Let me welcome the host of Pushing the Limits, and he does that. Pushing the Limits, which is you can find in Vegas, KSHP Radio, 1400 AM, 107.1 FM. It streams live on all social media channels Monday through Friday, 12 p to 2 p Pacific time. I usually don't give Pacific time because, you know, I'm East Coast biased, but we are here today in the presence of Brian Shapiro. Welcome to the Karen Hunter Show. Hi.
Thank you, Karen. Good to see you. I'm East Coast biased too. I'm from Connecticut, so I get along with my East Coast people. So I miss them. So yes, absolutely.
What brought you out west, young man? You went to
job in radio. You know, my first job in radio, I was getting paid like $25,000 a year. This was like 25 years ago when I had hair. And I needed to do something else to supplement my income. So I was a pretty good poker player, and I thought Vegas was a good avenue for me. And, you know, I've loved it here ever since. Luckily, I'm getting paid a little more money now and I'm doing better. But yeah, that's what drew me to Vegas, and I've loved it ever since. I love living out here. We have a terrible governor, but other than that, I love it.
Well, you know, we can't be perfect, but you listen, when I first watched you light this Trump person up, I said, okay, is this a regular for you? Like, do you get calls like this, right? Like, are they coming to you to get their asses spanked? Is this
it's amazing. It's almost like they love the punishment. I'm a little bit more aggressive than some people. If somebody says something stupid, I'm going to call them a right-wing buffoon. If they say something that doesn't make sense, I'm going to call them out on it. I think it's time for people on the left and just people that are anti-Trump. I'm done being nice, okay? And there's a lot of racism and bigotry and hatred and stupidity, and I think it needs to be called out more. And they love the challenge of trying to call in and get me in a gotcha moment like that idiot that you just played. Democrats say that Christmas is racist. First of all, that's not true. There might be a couple of clowns on social media that said that. That doesn't mean the entire Democrat Party said it. And he couldn't name one person. So, you know, I just have no tolerance for these people, and they keep calling.
well, happy holiday to you.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah, thank you. And here's the thing. Why is that a problem? Why is that a problem? Like, you're actually literally wishing somebody well. Why are you mad about it? And that's the thing. When did you see, Brian, the temperature rise or the volume go up on the nonsense, on the crazy?
As soon as Donald Trump decided to run for office. It's why I got more into politics at that time. And listen, I admit it. I made a terrible mistake. In 2016, I did not vote for Trump, but I did not vote for Hillary either. Obviously, going back on it, I made a mistake. I had no idea that Donald Trump would turn out to be the vile monster that he is.
All right, so pause there for a second, because there were a lot of people that, you know, were Bernie bros. I'm imagining. Were you a Bernie guy?
I would have voted for Bernie Sanders over Hillary. I'll be honest.
Okay.
Hillary didn't really resonate with me, but she was obviously overqualified for the position, intelligent. Not a big Clinton fan in general, but obviously, I made a mistake, and I wish I could, you know, do a do-over there. Yeah. But I've voted against Donald Trump ever since.
And I want to thank you for that, because there's some people, this is the thing that I don't get. Like, we're all human. We all make mistakes. I'm always saying, when I get better information, I will change my mind on something
Right.
very easily because it's better information. But it seems like people double down on their ignorance because they don't want to be wrong. And so they fee, fi, fo, fum, and stay like toddlers in being wrong. You at least had the good sense to say, hey, that was, the Jill Stein voters. There's some people, I called them out. They were mad about it, but that was a mistake. That was a mistake.
The worst characteristic of many of, I think, people who still support Donald Trump is they can't admit they're wrong about anything. They look at Donald Trump as the next Messiah. And I got to be honest with you, it makes me really sad to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway, because this is how I feel. If Donald Trump, God forbid, molested a child on camera, I still think at least 25% of his base would still support him. I don't think there's anything that this guy can do where people will say, geez, you know what? I think that's enough. I mean, look at January 6th. Look at all the support he had after that. So, these are really sad times that we're living in today. I use the term cultist for a reason. And, I've taken some flack on social media. I've been to some Trump rallies, and I've said it felt like I was at a Klan rally. I mean, it felt like that sort of racist, bigoted type feeling where you have 99.9% white people with their white hatred. And this is just not the country that I recognize anymore. And, I debate these people every day, and I try to figure out why they still support Donald Trump. And the last guy I just debated today on the show, Andrew Wilson, who is a staunch right-wing conservative evangelical Christian, he kept going back to the abortion issue and his Christianity. And he didn't want me to talk about the liable sexual abuse. He didn't want me to talk about the 34-count felonies. He didn't want me to talk about the tariffs and attacking American civilians with our own troops. And every single time I brought up one of those issues, he went back to the abortion issue. And I've never had a debate like that before. It's like you can't even talk to these people. It's incredible.
I just brought up Angela Stanton King, who is now, I realize, grifting off of the King name, which is weird. But it goes back to abortion. Like, it always goes back to, the lady, Alvina King, the actual niece, it was abortion, the Margaret Sanger, like it becomes an issue even among black people, right? That abortion issue. And to me, like, if you're against abortion, don't have one. It's a real simple thing. But to want to force people to not have one because you believe that they're killing a baby, but there's so many babies being killed, or I shouldn't say it, but there's so many babies languishing in foster care that need help. You don't care about the babies that are homeless. You don't care about the babies that are hungry.
I just brought that up, Karen. I said, if you call yourself pro-life, which, by the way, I don't think these people are pro-life, they're anti-abortion, then why do you support people that are against maternity leave? Why do you support people that are against food stamps and welfare and Medicaid? Again, he had no answer for me, and I just think it's so hypocritical. Listen, I don't think having an abortion is murder. I believe it's a human being when it can survive outside the womb. That's just my personal opinion. But just like you, I don't want to tell other people what to do. If you don't want to have an abortion, if Ben Shapiro, no relation, thank God, but if Ben Shapiro wanted to have 100 little Ben Shapiros walking around, go ahead. It's not my place to tell you. So don't tell other women what to do with their bodies. I don't know what it's like to be pregnant, right? And a 13-year-old girl, God forbid, that is the victim of incest or rape, she should be forced to have that baby. I mean, these people are very sick people. And, how can you have a conversation with somebody when you talk about Donald Trump and the horrible things he says, the horrible things he does, with the policies, and every single argument is, well, what about abortion? I mean, it's just very difficult to talk to people like that.
All right. We're talking with Brian Shapiro. Pushing the Limits is where you can find him, streaming on most social media channels. But if you're in the Vegas area, 1400 on your AM dial, KSHP, also 107.1 on your FM dial.
We're ready. We're prepared. Do not give in to fear. We are fearless. This is not the time to be afraid. This is a time to stand up and fight back and to resist any temptation for them to divide us. We're in this together. The rule of law is on our side. We will not give in, not give up. We will not capitulate. We will not bow. We will not bend. We will survive.